Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Daryl Smith. Listen, you know him, you love him. He's a staple here at Film Banter, right here in my beloved home every week. You've seen him. You've seen an incredible shirts that he wears. He has this amazing t-shirt collection, and we just want to feature it very briefly. So without any further ado, here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the Terminator. No, it's actually not the Terminator. It's Mr. Chris Picard. Take it, Chris.
Thank you very much for
right.
a very, very
There we
warm
go.
welcome. I appreciate it. A hell of an introduction.
Wonderful.
It's nice to be here, guys. We thought it'd be fun to showcase my t-shirts.
It's good to have you, Chris.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's good to be had.
Go. Well, you've certainly been had enough.
Ba-dum-bum.
Ba-dum.
But seriously, folks, yes, so you watch the show regularly, you know that I have a really extensive t-shirt collection.
Chris, take off your shirt so we can see that.
Tonight I have a
Joe
wonderful
Pesci.
Joe Pesci t-shirt.
What, am I funny to you? I'm a clown?
$5. I bought it on a nice
I'm a clown
Facebook
to
ad.
you?
I'm a clown. I'm here
I'm
to amuse
funny?
you, yeah.
I
So
amuse you?
I love Goodfellas, so that's
Great
why I bought
stuff.
this shirt.
Wonderful.
I have a bunch of other shirts with a
Certainly
showcase.
in honor of Irishman coming.
Well, yes, Irishman is coming out very soon.
Let's get to the shirts.
And yeah, so I'm going to just highlight a few of my favorites. So I'm going to start with...
So many people have written into the show.
Yeah.
They all ask about your incredible shirt collection.
The inbox is full.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
man.
So this is one of my
They're
favorites.
being turned away now.
I know.
You know.
This is one of my favorites. It's a beautiful
Captain
America
Well, that's
shirt.
lovely.
I've worn it many times. I enjoy this shirt. What's the one complaint I have about this shirt? If you look at it, the Captain America shield is off center. It's not exactly centered properly. And I didn't notice it till I had it when I got it in the mail.
Well, you know, it looks pretty close though.
But
if
it's
you're
a
looking
little
at
off.
the well, if you're looking at the tag in the top, you can see
It's
it
a
is
little off.
maybe a little bit off.
But it's a beautiful shirt.
You
It's
also have
very
a-
simple.
You also have a crease down at the bottom of the decal of the logo.
Oh yeah, well
Kind of.
because it's folded. I keep
Oh,
it
now it
folded.
looks
I
good.
roll them up.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so let's do that. Here we go, folks.
Like the crease. Yeah. Very good.
So that's
Next.
one I like. I'll have you put that in that little bag for me. Thank you
Okay.
very much, sir.
All right. Don't have to hold it.
Doesn't matter. Here's another one I like. If you've ever seen the '80s film They Live, it's a wonderful little film, a fun John Carpenter film.
Sure. Roddy Dangerfield.
Yes, Roddy. Do you mean Roddy Piper?
Oh, Roddy.
I wish it was Roddy
I did
Dangerfield.
too.
So we have this here,
Yeah.
which is cool because I actually went to one of the Chiller Theater conventions a few years ago.
Okay.
And I met Roddy Piper and Keith David,
Wow.
the two stars of the film, and they hadn't seen each other since they shot the movie.
Wow.
So we saw their first interaction. They both arrived at their tables roughly the same time.
Fantastic.
So that was fun.
Oh, that's pretty
yeah,
cool.
so that was fun. I like this shirt. It's a simple green and white. It just really looks good.
Great shirt.
We'll put that in there
It's
too.
a little raggy looking.
Yeah,
It's not one of your better
I've
shirts.
worn that shirt quite a bit.
Yeah, it's not a great shirt.
A classic shirt right here, one of my favorites.
Okay.
Lost Boys, you can't
Look
go
at
wrong.
that.
Look at that. I mean, just look at Kiefer
Kiefer.
in full vampire
Oh my
mode.
God.
He's probably never looked cooler.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, so this is one of my favorite shirts.
Wow. You know what? I could almost
The
do
classic
without
movie.
I could almost do without the Lost Boys stuff. They
Yeah,
just
it's not
have
really
the face.
necessary. That should have been maybe
Yeah.
like on the back.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree.
But it's a classic shirt. Everybody loves that. They love the image.
Beautiful.
Everybody compliments the shirt whenever
one of
I
your
wear
best.
it.
One of your best.
This is a shirt that I love because it's just got, not only there's a lot of meaning behind the shirt for me,
Okay.
but it's just a beautifully designed shirt. It is my Rodriguez t-shirt.
Louis, say hello.
Louis cameo. So Rodriguez, for those of you that do not know, he was the
Absolutely.
focus of a documentary called Searching for Sugar Man.
Absolutely.
About a
Very familiar.
70s folk musician who
Put out one album.
Two albums.
Two albums.
Two albums. He's from Detroit. The albums kind of didn't go anywhere.
Right.
In the States, and he just continued his life as a construction worker. Fast forward to like 30-something years later, he finds out he has no idea.
He's
that
a god
He's a god
in Canada.
in South Africa.
Oh,
in
that's
Cape
right.
Town
Oh,
specifically.
that's right.
He became the figure for the rallying cry of anti-apartheid.
Oh,
For the
interesting.
whole movement that went out down there. And the whole documentary is about these two guys. They're a journalist and another guy who owned a record store in South Africa.
Right, that's
who
right.
want to figure out, well, where is this guy?
Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of misinformation about him.
Hence the title.
Searching for Sugar Man. I
Great
can't
stuff.
recommend the movie enough. One of the best documentaries ever.
And the music is pretty
It's
good too.
amazing. And I went to see him in concert a couple years ago in the city.
How was he?
It was a good performance, but he had a cold, so he couldn't hit some of the notes. Kind of annoying,
No,
but it was a
that
good
is
show.
annoying.
I love the
Yeah.
guy. Bought this shirt.
Yeah.
I think it's a beautifully designed shirt.
It's not like you're seeing Lady Gaga and she's
No,
got a cold.
I know. And I love the orange. You know, it's just
No,
a
it's
beautiful
very
shirt.
cool.
One of
Very
my
nice.
favorites.
Really nice.
Another one of my favorites that I literally get compliments on anytime I wear it.
Really?
It is a shirt my friend Brian got for me.
Oh, no.
Never forget.
Never forget.
A shirt that pays homage to Blockbuster Video.
Or is it 9/11? No, it's actually Blockbuster.
Well, it's Blockbuster, yeah. Those of us that
course.
grew up with that store chain,
Right.
I used to work there
I used
for
to
2
go
years.
in there every day of my life.
Me too.
And it was
So,
just the best.
It's a fun shirt.
It was a great place
And I
to
don't
go
even,
in.
there used to be one Blockbuster left in like Oregon. I don't even know if it's still there. I think
no,
it got
they closed it up.
But nevertheless, I love this shirt. Simple, it's fun, great blue color.
It's also fun in
Love it.
the Marvel film.
Yes, Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
She falls into a
She
blockbuster.
falls into
yeah.
a blockbuster. It was wonderful.
Yeah, I love
Next.
this shirt just because I love Bernie. It's
Yeah.
a shirt I bought a couple years ago.
Really cool.
It's just a cool. I love the red and the yellow. I don't wear this shirt often, but I just
No.
love how it's designed.
Nice.
It's a
Very
beautifully,
nice.
beautifully
It's
done
lovely.
shirt.
Lovely.
Really cool.
It is cool.
One of my favorites. And then
I like his
lastly,
expression. He's got that upside down smile.
yeah,
going.
yeah. And this is one of my favorite shirts because of my love for Twizzlers. You and I both love Twizzlers.
Well, we do.
And I finally
love
said to
them
myself
too.
a few months ago, why don't I have a Twizzler shirt?
Why don't you?
So I bought one.
Thank
It's
God.
beautiful, simple, red and white.
The world,
And
the world is
Feel how
applauding
soft it is.
Oh
It's
my
like a
God.
baby blanket.
It's like a baby's
It's
bottom.
beautiful.
My God, it's
It's
like
a
an
beautiful
Angora
shirt.
sweater.
So that's that wonderful little shirt.
Yeah.
I hope you've enjoyed my T-shirt, shirt and tell.
Absolutely.
I enjoyed showing them to you. Do you have any closing remarks?
I really don't. I just want to say, Chris, we've loved your shirts.
Thank you
They're
so much.
often.
I
They're
appreciate
an integral
it.
part of the show.
They really are.
I think
yeah.
it's great that you
I
wear
try to
them
wear a
every
different
week.
one every week.
And you almost, I wouldn't say that you theme wear the shirt. You don't wear the shirt.
Once in a while
Maybe
I
once
do.
in a while.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, great to have him. Chris
Thanks for
Picard
watching,
right
yeah.
here with his T-shirt.
Maybe one day you'll showcase your wonderful collection of black button-up shirts.
Underwear.
That too.
With the days of the
Or
week.
maybe
on
your
it.
shoe collection. He is the male of Imelda Marcos.
I do have a lot of shoes. There's
It's
no
impressive.
question about
But
it.
they're all basically the same.
They're all the same pair.
Yeah.
And then
You're like
they're all-
Jerry Lewis.
I don't like.
the same pair of socks
Well, I don't
twice.
like shoelaces, so I have no shoes with shoelaces.
I hear you. It's annoying.
Yeah,
you know what's
they're
funny?
annoying.
These shoes, they're sneakers. They have shoelaces, but I
Are you
never
sure
untie
about
them.
that?
I
Okay.
just slip into them. Yeah,
Okay,
they're great.
I think we're done. We just wasted.
This
a
has
whole
been
bunch of time.
apparel banter.
There you go.
We'll see you guys soon.
Apparel banter.
Apparel
I
banter.
like that.
You like that?
Very good. Thank you. ladies
Until
and
next time,
gentlemen.
guys.
And we'll see you. Here comes the show.
All right, enjoy.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, it is I, Daryl Smith. Here he is, Chris Columbus, also known as Chris Cuomo, also known as Chris Picard. He's here once again.
What about Christopher Robin?
You could be Christopher Robin too.
Yeah. It's
But then
how many
would I have to
Christophers?
be Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah, well, you've been that before, so.
I suppose I have. And as I get older, the Pooh factor
It does.
is kicking in, dude.
It's kind of terrible.
It really is a horrifying thing.
It's not fun.
It depends.
It does. But folks, welcome to episode 138.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine? It's 138.
Many episodes we've done, sir.
It's November the 12th.
It is indeed.
We're approaching
The end of 2020.
We're getting there. We're almost to Thanksgiving.
Just to put a little label, a little stamp, a little watermark on this show.
Yes.
Tomorrow starts the proceedings of impeachment against
The
Donald
public
Trump-
hearings.
The public
Correct.
hearings in the Donald Trump inquiry
Yes.
for impeachment.
It's
So-
basically going to be, a big show, and it's not going to go anywhere because that the House, the Senate Republicans are not going to go vote for it.
Well, no, that's not the point. The point is, see, the House on its own, the Congress, can in fact impeach them.
They can, but the Senate then has to confirm it.
But the Senate is only responsible if they want to remove him from office.
Yeah,
Then
but
they come into play.
You know they're not going to.
And you know they're not going to.
Because
but
McConnell's a traitor.
this is what happened during
You're
the
a traitor,
Nixon.
Mitch McConnell.
Let me just talk about this very briefly.
Yes.
Back in the Nixon days, when Nixon was impeached,
Mm-hmm.
Nixon did not have to leave office. But what happened was basically the he was impeached through the House.
Yes.
And then the Senate was actually about to begin its proceedings to do the very same thing.
Yes.
And it was the same thing, exactly as it is with Donald Trump. In those days, the Republicans were 100% against impeaching Richard Nixon. But after the hearings, occurred, then they all wanted him out.
Well, also too because I think public opinion shifted quite a bit as well because those were on TV.
The
obviously.
hearings were I don't believe those hearings were.
Not even on the radio.
I think they may have been, but very briefly here and there. It wasn't like today where the media is on everything.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think Trump is the kind of guy that would resign on his own volition.
No, God, no.
He's going to fight this.
No, he'll fight this. He'll be clinging to a table leg.
They'll be dragging him out
when they try and pull him out. He's going to pull part of the Oval Office desk with him.
It's not going to happen. He's going to finish his term, and God forbid, but I think he's going to get reelected.
Oh, no way. Oh, I don't believe
because they don't got any stars on the other side to beat him.
No, that's not the point. He's so hated in this country. And during this last election, only a week ago today, now we're seeing the suburbs are finally coming through in all of the red states, in almost every one of the Trump states. Those suburbs are coming through, and they're all starting to vote Democrat.
He's still got a strong base, though.
Yeah, but his base is only. What,
37,
42%?
Don't forget, we still have to deal with the wrench in the works, which is the Electoral College. They screwed us last time.
No. Listen, Donald Trump won last night. I've said this to you many, many times.
But you also said Hillary was going to win, and she didn't. I thought
she was going to win, but she lost by such a slim margin. She may as well. And
because of the Electoral College.
She did win the popular vote.
She did.
Remember, though.
Popular vote should be the vote.
Trump was a wild card 4 years ago.
I know.
He's not a wild card anymore.
Well,
now everyone knows.
Right.
We all know who Donald Trump is now.
I know
We've seen how he abuses every aspect of his power. How he employs people that just should not be.
I know.
He picks the absolute opposite.
He does.
Worst for the person for the job.
Somebody tells him the water's good for you, he's going to drink gasoline. I mean, everything that's good, he's the opposite.
He has to go against
it. You got to get that through the head of that
bad boy
rural base that he has.
It's very true.
Well, I hope you're right.
Now let's just begin very briefly. We do in fact have a quick. We've been there before. We did go to La Hacienda tonight.
Oh, you want to do a little restaurant banter?
Restaurant banter.
Yeah.
We'll
do it briefly.
Banter.
We went to a nice Mexican restaurant.
We did.
In Suffern, New York. La Hacienda Don Miguel.
I love the place.
Very good.
Why you say Don Miguel?
Because that's what it's called.
It's called Don Miguel?
No, it's called La Hacienda Don Miguel.
I never saw that.
Don Miguel or Don Juan Manuel, one of the two.
Maybe Don Juan. He might have Manuel.
It's on my phone.
But he may have Manuel.
He might have went well.
But he did not do it
No, but it's got a longer name than just La Hacienda.
Emmanuel.
Yes.
But he didn't do it good.
Yes. No, they did a great job.
That's why they put the thing on wrong.
Yes.
It was not the right thing to put on.
You're kind of doing more of an Indian accent right now. It doesn't sound
Indian
like
is like this. If I do an Indian accent,
yeah, but that wasn't a perfect Spanish accent.
That's right, my friend. I'm just doing the guys who do my lawn. I'm doing the guys who do my leaves.
You do your lawn.
I'm doing my lawn this year.
You usually don't.
No.
You usually get guys?
Always get the guys,
really?
my friend.
Oh, good for you.
My friend Gabriel. He come here. He come here.
Very
he do
nice.
the side. He do the front. He do the back.
Very good.
Where the dog used to go.
Well, we're.
This is what he do.
We're happy to hear that.
Okay,
let's move on with the show.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to make one thing very, very clear to you all.
Let's do it.
And that is you have to listen quickly tonight. You have to listen fast. You know why?
Put your listening ears on.
This show has to go by quickly. You know why? Because Chris has to be someplace.
No.
He's got to get out of here.
It's because I want to do a shorter show.
He doesn't want to do a shorter show. He just wants to be someplace. He's got to go to
somewhere. He's got
another engagement after the show.
And this man doesn't know how to stop talking.
He doesn't care about you.
Yes,
he does. He just wants to get out of here.
No,
just
I
keep
do
the
a
reviews
shorter
tight. Called me today. He said, listen, didn't call me. He texted me. Never calls me. He texts me. And he said, listen, you don't do that fourth film. No, don't do it.
Yeah, why do you deserve a fourth film?
Man, I gotta leave.
Tell me, why do you deserve a fourth film and I don't get to do a fourth film?
You can do a fourth film.
I don't want to do a fourth
entitled.
film. I want to do just 3.
Then do
you don't
just
need
3.
to do a fourth.
It's my fucking show along with yours.
Yeah, but you're taking over the show with your fourth review.
I'm not taking over the show.
2 minutes.
It's gonna be a very. It may be 3 or 4. And you know what? I don't give a damn.
I'll edit it out.
Oh, you
gotta.
bother.
You gotta.
I'm gonna cut you out.
You gotta be quick to the point.
You son of a bitch!
Don't do
it.
it.
Shut up. Keep your mouth
See this
shut.
guy?
Oh, sorry.
See what I gotta put up with? Let's begin the show.
Let's begin the show, shall
so,
we?
folks, welcome. We have a nice show for you tonight. We have, right off the top...
Episode 138.
What are you, juggling?
Yeah, I'm juggling my balls.
Okay, we're doing Dr. Sleep to start.
Yes, we are.
This is the follow-up to the Stephen King novel and the 1980 film, The Shining.
Yes.
And this is basically young little Danny Torrance,
Little Danny
all
Torrance.
grown up, and he's dealing with the fact that he still can shine. But this has a much different storyline.
This is a great storyline.
Yeah, honestly,
very
I'll
impressed.
just tell right off the bat. I loved this movie.
I loved it too.
I really
2.5 hours long.
Really got
I
sucked in.
Absolutely was
I would have
sucked in.
sat for another half hour.
I would have too.
I loved it.
I was thinking
this
that
was
very
a great
thing.
movie.
What's her name again?
Rebecca Ferguson.
Oh, God.
She's the villain.
Oh my God.
She was great.
I tell you,
Yeah.
my heart was
Yeah.
palpitating throughout.
She's very good.
Every time she's on scene here.
Yeah.
Now they did use, they did take some liberties with the visual, the people.
They did, because they didn't
involved.
just use footage from The Shining. They reshot a lot of
They
stuff with
did.
actors that look similar.
Yeah.
Thought they did a decent
These
job.
are not the same little girls
They're
that
not.
we saw back in 1980.
Yeah.
And we also, the little boy,
Different.
little Danny going
Yeah.
around is a different little boy.
They did a good job, I thought.
Well, he was fine.
Casting Shelley Duvall like
Well,
this.
the Shelley
she looked
Duvall
kind of
was-
good, from,
she was pretty good.
especially from behind.
Do you recognize this man?
Yes, that's what's his name that played Lurch in the Addams Family
No,
films.
no. He's also the man in Twin Peaks.
Oh yes, he's in Twin Peaks as well.
He's
been-
the bald guy in
He's
Twin
got a
Peaks.
huge career. This guy.
He does indeed, and it was nice to see him in a talking role because in the David Lynch thing he
Not
never
a lot,
talks.
yeah.
Doesn't talk at all.
I'm going to be reviewing a film actually that he was in tonight, in addition to this.
Really?
And I'll tell you what it is in a few minutes.
Well, how exciting is that?
But yeah, this was really enjoyable.
I'll tell you,
Ewan was great.
McGregor, you know, he's such a. I think he's an underrated actor
I agree.
to some extent,
I agree.
and maybe he's an underrated actor because he's so low key. He just provides the content
Yes.
just enough of what you need, and I just thought he was brilliantly understated
Yes,
here,
I agree.
constantly throughout the whole film. I really enjoyed this film, and I
So
gotta
did
hand it. I gotta hand it to Stephen King here, you know, because I was expecting we were just going to go back to the house.
So you never read the book?
Of
Dr.
course I
Sleep.
read the book. I didn't read Dr.
That's what I'm saying.
I
Dr.
read The
Sleep.
Shining.
Yeah.
I love The Shining.
Yes.
And I thought the Kubrick film was horrendous.
Did you like the TV version that Stephen King prefers?
You know, I didn't see it.
From the 90s with Steven Weber.
I didn't see it.
It was a
yeah,
miniseries.
I remember Steven Weber was in it and so forth. I think I tried to watch it and I just burned out on the whole scenario. But this film was different. It just had a different vibe. We had a whole thing about, and it would make sense that we actually have these very special people. Of course, now in the universe we now live in, the film world, these would actually be called X-Men.
Kind of,
You know,
yeah.
they're all special people, special
Yeah.
kids.
Yes.
They have special powers, and but I like the fact that here is the group of people
Yeah.
who go after these special people.
Yes.
They're like villains who don't want to have their powers be intimidated by these new young people. Here we are, right in the maze.
But they
I love
also
this.
have to ingest basically the soul, the essence of these creatures,
Well,
of these special
correct.
kids, so they can then rejuvenate and live because they're immortal. But they need to feed, almost
They
like a
do indeed.
vampire in a way.
Well, they have the choice. They
Yes.
can either turn that person to be one of them.
Yes.
There's a girl at the very beginning of the film, very cute little blonde
She gets
girl.
turned, yeah.
She gets turned. And then we have also have the ability, and they kidnap our little kid from Good Boys.
That's
who is
yes.
very young.
Yeah, Jacob Tremblay.
Little Jacob Tremblay,
He's
very
good.
young in the film. He's in so many movies.
He's in a lot.
He's in a lot of stuff.
But he's got a good scene. I read in the trivia that his first take during a particular scene, you know the scene I'm talking about, he did such an amazing job that it freaked out Rebecca Ferguson.
Oh, you mean when he was?
Yeah,
being-
there's a scene when he was being tied up, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
That he did such a believable job that he jumped up, went to the snack table, and Rebecca Ferguson was like
Whoa.
stunned for a few minutes.
Well, you know,
she started stumbling on her lines.
That was a tough. That was a tough. scene.
Beautifully done.
Yeah, it's a great movie. It's frightening.
Yeah,
It
the
really-
director Mike Flanagan did an amazing
He
job.
was one of he wrote the
He
the
did the screen
screenplay.
adaptation.
I know, he
and
did.
he'd previously done. I didn't see it, but he did this movie. You probably saw it, Oculus. Did you see that?
Oculus.
It was a
I
horror
did see
film.
it. I did see Oculus.
He also did Gerald's Game
You know, Oculus.
on Netflix.
I saw that too. We saw that. That's,
Yeah, that's
with,
a
our
beautiful
beloved,
girl. Yeah. Well, it's Bruce Greenwood is the guy.
Okay.
And she is Carla Gugino.
Carla Gugino, of course.
Yes.
Gugino. She was in,
Gugino,
of course, Sin Sex.
Exact, Sin City,
Sin
and a
City,
lot of
et
stuff.
cetera. A lot of stuff.
She's great.
Yeah, she is great.
But yeah, this was really well done.
I liked it a lot.
Really enjoyed it. It's got some creepiness. I think the story progresses just right.
Mm-hmm.
The pacing is very good. you really get a chance to get to know these characters, especially Ewan McGregor, and his friend that he meets, who I like a lot in this film, Clifton.
Yeah, he's great.
Cliff Collins, he's great.
He's great.
He's been in a lot of stuff too.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Recognize him immediately.
Yeah, he was
a lot
great.
of terrorist films.
He's played a terrorist many
terrorist
times.
look.
Yeah.
I wish I had a photograph of him.
You know, I couldn't find a good one.
Oh, really?
But he's been in a million movies.
He has a kind of a Eastern look to him. And
Yeah, but he can also pass in Spanish. He's got one of those almost ethnic ambiguity. An ethnic ambiguity to him. Say that 5 times fast. Are you having a stroke, sir?
Yes, I think I was just
look like the Elephant
complimenting the
Man.
very stroke that you were having.
Thank you.
While you were trying to say ethnic ambiguity.
Ethnic ambiguity.
Well, within the ethnic ambiguity of that particular character, we also have you in here, and of course, I just like the way this whole film went on and
Me
on
too.
and on, and and hats off. If I had one, I would take it off to Mr. Stephen King, because I think he did such a great job in just purely rethinking. I mean, he took it to the next level.
Yeah.
He really did. And creating this band of evil soul stealers that they are, who really...
They have a specific name, too. I have it here. They're called the True Knot.
Oh,
Interesting
really?
name.
Oh.
But I love, too, that they went through... They painstakingly rebuilt the set of the Overlook Hotel for this movie.
Did they?
They did. Mike Flanagan he said he wanted every detail to be paid attention to the point that after they were done with a take or for the day, he told the cast and crew, hey, go wander the set and just go have fun and go enjoy.
They built the whole hotel?
The whole set. They basically followed the specs that Stanley Kubrick used in The Shining. And they built it the same way.
I'll tell you, one of the best scenes in the film for me, believe it or not. Now, we're also omitting one person in this who was excellent.
The girl.
The little girl.
She's excellent.
She's a little black.
I think there's a shot of her.
Little black girl.
She's very good.
And she plays a person. And there's a big problem with. She has great powers. This little girl, obviously stronger than our Rebecca Ferguson problem. And yet, it's like you with Donald Trump. Oh, we'll never beat her. But she's already been beaten in a sense, and I'm saying things that you don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little bit off. They shouldn't have gone there, because the little girl was obviously already equipped to massacre Rebecca.
Yeah.
As she truly was. But
they always have to have that,
I guess. Otherwise,
ending, third act,
So maybe they shouldn't have gone with having Rebecca Ferguson get completely, zonked out, and she gets pushed out.
Yeah.
When she's
That was a good scene.
That was a great
I
scene.
love that scene with the file cabinet and all that. That was cool.
No, it was wonderful.
It was
It's showing the file cabinets within all of us.
Yeah.
We're just this
like
big
in the mind.
warehouse, correct, as we live our lives here. But
it's a very
it's a great
affecting
little film, very effective.
It's a shame it didn't do well in the box office, because I thought it was wonderful.
I think a word of mouth and just
Maybe
over
on
the
video.
years,
Yeah.
The Shining. I don't know how great The Shining did. Probably did very well.
Most likely.
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, I'd have to look at the grosses, but I know in
either.
pop culture, it's obviously
It's a pop
regarded as a
culture.
classic.
And I think this is a worthwhile
I think
sequel
so too. Yeah,
I really do.
This guy's really great too. He's a Native American actor that I first took note.
He's Danny Trejo's little brother. Juan Carlos Trejo.
No, because
No, I'm kidding.
I know, no, because this guy's Native American. Danny Trejo is Mexican.
Yeah.
This guy, I first took note of him in the second season of the wonderful Fargo, which you should really see on FX. He is
Billy
chilling
Bob,
in that.
show.
That's in the first season. Billy Bob's in the first season.
All right.
But he's really good. The whole cast is great. I just love this movie.
I'll tell you, a chilling moment for me.
Really enjoyed this film.
A chilling moment for me was when we pull up to the Overlook Hotel.
Great shot.
At the end there, and it's completely, totally run down. I tell you, I got a little chilled.
Yeah.
I got a little chilled at that scene. I must also point out my movie experience was less than fantastic. Less than fantastic.
Well, you seem to have that fairly often.
I seem to be just attracting.
Knock on wood, I'm pretty blessed.
People with their cell phones just constant. And this was a very minimal theater.
Yeah.
This was a Sunday crowd. I'm going to say maybe there was 30 people in the whole audience.
Okay.
And this was an IMAX.
Yeah.
Now, I also want to talk about that very briefly, and not to elongate this, because I know Chris has to go. He's got to get out of here soon.
Gotta get out of
He's
here.
going to the movies.
I got a
soon.
thing.
He's got a quick pace, this thing, so please listen carefully, and listen closely, and listen quickly, so that Chris can leave.
Well, why
here.
don't you get on with your story so we can start?
Oh, that's true. I suppose I should probably start talking again about the actual thing that I'm talking about. But I just want to talk about how, in this particular film, the IMAX experience almost ruined the film in a way.
Now, was it 3D?
No.
Okay.
No, it was just an IMAX, but the sound was was it was put in the. Sometimes they'll put a film in an IMAX theater that is not geared to IMAX sound.
I know what you're saying.
They will put a standard film, and let's say a movie like Spies with Melissa McCarthy.
Yes.
May have premiered in the IMAX theater, but the sound
it's not meant for that.
It was not boom.
I know what you're
powerful.
saying. Yes.
Splat.
Yes.
You know, but this film, even in the quiet moments, even in the quiet Supertramp, 1983. Even in the quietest moments, take the long way home, or so logical, mythic. Anyway,
thank you.
Thank you so much, and I'd like to thank Roger Hodgson and the boys for being Supertramp, and you know, I always loved them. I really did.
Before forgetting my screening, I would say about 10 people got up and left.
Really?
Throughout the film.
A lot of people fell asleep during the film.
I think they didn't expect it to be as, I don't want to say slow paced to mean that it's a slow, boring movie, but I guess in their mind, maybe they went into the theater thinking it's going to be more action based.
It's a 2.5
So I think
hour
that
film.
they were bored.
Yeah, I think they
but
were.
To their
this
loss,
is
it's a wonderful film.
Psychological thriller.
It is.
More so than anything.
Yeah, I agree.
It really is. I mean, we
Really
have very
enjoyable.
little action, really.
A couple
in all
scenes,
honesty.
that's it.
There's a scene later. There's a confrontation. There's a massacre scene
Yes,
that occurs. But I love this film. I really did. I just sat there completely enthralled and really into it.
Oh, you know what I love? And it's not really a spoiler, but when the part of the group, when some of those bad people die, the way they die is creepy.
Oh.
It's kind of chilling.
Well, they just evaporate.
They evaporate, but it's like, it's really cool. They did a good job.
Well,
with
they
that.
turn skeletal.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the layers just are peeled away.
And it's like dust.
And then dust.
It's
it's almost a little similar
really cool.
to the Avengers Endgame.
Oh,
where
yeah, I can see that a little
dissipates.
bit. A little bit.
Yeah, we
it
just
was
have
neat.
an evaporation, more or less.
But it's a very good film. I really recommend
Really is a good
it.
film too.
I think it's worth seeing in the theater.
I enjoyed it myself.
It's just a
very
good time.
much so. It is.
I went Friday night and loved it.
Did you?
You had a good screening.
Yeah. Oh, good indeed.
Yeah.
No, I
great.
totally and 100% I recommend this
I'm
film.
very happy that it was good. You know.
Yeah, me too. Well, you know, I'm very confident about the variety reviews.
Yeah.
The guys always right on the money there. It's not like the Roger Ebert people. You know, at RobertEbert.com, they're just horrendous people.
Yeah.
I think they just are there to emancipate their own egos.
And that goes against everything that Roger Ebert stood for.
Roger Ebert versus Gene Siskel, as we all know, Roger Ebert went into a movie theater and sat down loving what he was about to see before it occurred. He was prepared to love the film. Where Gene Siskel went in prepared to hate the film. Now prove to me you're better than my
David Cunningham was like that too.
Yeah, exactly. We have a lot of reviewers like that. Unfortunately, I'm in the former.
I'm the
believe it or
same.
not.
Yeah, I want to enjoy
in,
the film.
I want to go in. I just want to be entertained.
I don't want to be angry the whole time. I want to come out of the movie with a smile, saying that was a great experience.
I want to be immersed.
Yeah.
I don't want to come out. We saw Zombieland a few weeks ago, and as much as I like Zombieland, I was neither moved nor anything.
It was just there.
It was just there. It just exists. These are films we shouldn't go see in the theater. There's no question about it. But I enjoyed this film quite a bit. I liked that at the end, the little girl goes into, there's room 237, which is the room with the... And they never showed the young, beautiful woman. It's always
the old version,
the old lady hag thing.
Yeah.
And so very interesting indeed. But and Rebecca, I thought she was dynamite.
Dynamite, I agree.
I love the slash hat.
That was cool.
She only had an electric guitar. She could have played a little.
When I saw
Welcome to the jungle.
When I saw the trailer and she had the hat on, I'm like, oh, that looks kind of stupid. But then when I watched the movie, I'm like, all right, it grew on me.
No, I like it.
Yeah, it looks good.
I like to see that hat grow on you.
But I'm bummed.
Because then that reflection off your forehead wouldn't be quite so vivid.
One day we're going to project a movie up my forehead.
Okay, I think we could.
We should. That'd be great.
Well, as you get older too, we'll be able to show it on your
Honestly, bring it on because then I don't have to worry about my hair.
There you go.
It's
maybe
gone.
You should
Great.
just be wearing a yarmulke hat or something.
I'll just wear a beanie.
Here I am.
Maybe one of those ones with the little propeller on it.
There you go. That'd be very cool indeed.
Yeah, I need a dunce cap too. How about that?
Thing too.
Well, let's go. We'll do another review. I'm glad we both enjoyed that.
Just a great thing.
I'm going to just do this review because you didn't see the film.
Well, since I have more films than you... Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not going to spend more than 5 minutes.
I would say since I have more films with you, I should probably do the next. It would make more sense to give you...
Well, I do one, then you have the next one.
Into the...
I have you doing the next one after this.
You're not getting my point.
What?
You only have 3 films to do, correct? Including Motherless. I have 4 films to do.
Yeah.
Therefore, I should go next.
You want to go next?
I should go next, just to put you...
All right.
So I'm not doing 2 films in a row.
Oh, well, you're still going to do 2 in a row.
No, I'm not. No,
Yeah.
you'll be in between.
Yeah, all right. All right, fine. Go do your first. Your first one is...
Okay, let's see what it is.
Da, 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 it is...
Oh, Ed Wood.
Oh, good choice.
Can you
Yeah, you
hit
should
that poster first?
What you really got to do is you got to number
I
them in
know.
order.
You know what?
That's what I do.
That's
That's
what
more
I do.
efficient.
I suppose it might be.
But this is a great
Ladies
choice.
and gentlemen, here we go. Can you keep that on there for a moment?
I can
Just-
pause it, yeah.
Just pause it. There you go.
I love this movie.
Great cast.
Tim Burton's
I love
masterpiece.
this. I'm telling
He's
you.
never topped it.
1994, just a great movie.
Great film. I agree.
Johnny is just at the top of his game. I love that it's in delicious.
It's a brilliant film.
Delicious black and white. Not just black and white, delicious. And you're going to
It's
see
glorious.
some very interesting photos that I have put.
Can I press
Okay.
play now?
You may press play now.
It's a wonderful film.
Okay, now here's Bella, and this guy, his name is Conrad.
This is why you posted a picture of Bella on Facebook the other day. Because you were watching
did.
this. Yeah.
Correct.
Cool.
Yeah, and the more you watch Martin Landau and his Oscar-winning performance of Bela Lugosi, here he is right here.
He deserved it.
He deserved it. He was
Awesome.
so great. I'm telling you, this film was just wonderful. Here's the real Ed.
Yeah.
And here's
did
Johnny
a good
Depp
job,
as
too.
Ed. And I thought Johnny was great. Now Ed Wood, the last 10 years or so of his life, he was spent as an alcoholic. He died at the age of 54.
Bella's ending was depressing with the heroin and all that.
Well,
very depressing.
Very
ending.
true.
Yeah.
They didn't show, but Bella got married the last year of his life. He was married to
interesting.
somebody just for a year. Bella was, as I put in my there's Johnny
That-
doing his Sarah Jessica.
It's like the Glenn or Glenda days.
Sarah Jessica
Yeah.
Gilbert, not Sarah Jessica Parker thing. But I wonder who this guy is. I bet he's somebody.
I'm sure.
I bet he's somebody famous.
Everybody's
But,
somebody.
Johnny really encapsulates this performance. Got everybody in here. I got the wrestler, the blonde. That's
Patricia
Criswell.
Arquette.
Patricia Arquette, who I totally forgot she was in
Yeah.
the film. This was Ed Wood's, not Ed Wood. That was Tim Burton's
Lisa
girlfriend
Marie.
at the time. Lisa Marie is her name.
Yes. She was, for a while, she was with him.
Tim's girlfriend for a while, and then he traded her in for Helen Gurley Brown.
Helen Bonham Carter.
Helen
No, I think
Carter.
they divorced. I don't know if they're still together.
No, they're gone.
They're
together.
gone,
Now
yeah,
they
I
are,
figured
but
that.
they are separated. But they do share a child together.
They do.
So she often shows up at whatever film Tim might
Yeah.
be doing. But I just really I sat and watched this film.
a great movie.
It's just a wonderful
It
film.
really is.
There's just so much, and it's really a tribute to the art of
agree.
filmmaking and the obsession to make film, not to make good film.
Yeah.
but
Just film in general.
It's completely
passion.
lost. Well, you gotta criticize him as much as you wanna. Or if you want to toast him, or
I know.
you want to credit him with whatever he's done, but he really has nothing to offer the film world except maybe Plan 9 from Outer Space, and Glenn or Glenda.
Yeah.
But I as a filmmaker, he was just god awful. Let's face it.
Yeah.
He just was, print, cut, and the guy would just say to him, "Hey." When he went through that doorway, he knocked the door a little bit. The wrestler did, and Ed Wood would simply say, "Yeah, but that's real. That looks real."
And he was also, to give him a little credit, he was also a prisoner to low budgets. It's not like he had huge amounts of money to work with.
Yes, but he was a prisoner
You know?
to low budgets because of his own.
Well, I guess it's a vicious cycle.
Exactly.
Because of the quality
Because
he
of the
produced.
quality he was dishing
Yeah.
out, and the quality that he
Yeah.
was pushing at the distributors who want
Yeah.
to know what's your film going to be about. Well, it's Bride of the Atom, and he'd do his whole faith.
The
and,
whole,
you
he's
know,
a great pitch man.
He was a great pitch
Yeah.
man. He really was a great salesman. I love the scenes when he's got these. He's got these little events going where he's trying to raise money to make these movies, and there's Elvira's over there. Why don't you go say hello to her? And he'll run over to Elvira and not Elvira, but Vampira.
Vampira.
And of course, Vampira sued Elvira in the 80s, in 1980, when Elvira began her
Yeah,
shtick.
exactly, yeah.
It's an exact ripoff
It
of
is.
Vampira, no question.
course.
The cleavage, the giant jugs, as he refers to them. Look at those jugs. But I love this film.
It's a great film.
It really is a great movie.
It's packed with a great cast of
great
character actors and stuff.
Yeah.
I love the scene where he's discouraged at the bar and he meets Orson Welles, played by Vincent D'Onofrio.
He did a great job.
scene.
I know.
And there's been rumors that really happened.
I believe it.
Yeah, and I think
Why
that's
not?
awesome to include,
Why
even if
not?
it wasn't real.
Orson was always
Loved
sitting
it.
at one particular
Yeah.
restaurant all the time, drinking his wine, getting fatter and fatter and
I
fatter.
know.
And pretty much what he did.
No,
And
it's
he would
such a
hold
good
court.
movie. Loved it.
really is a great movie.
And the guys that wrote it were great. The,
Movies were his passion, women were his inspiration, Angora sweaters were his weakness.
The guys that wrote it, Scott Alexander and Larry Karaszewski, They specialize in the biography script. They also wrote People versus Larry Flint.
Oh, great film.
Great film. Love that film.
Yeah.
They also wrote, there's another one, I believe they had a hand in writing Bohemian Rhapsody. I have to go confirm.
That's possible.
But they're great. This is such a great film.
Yes.
It's well researched.
A wonderful one.
Tim Burton really outdid himself on
2
this
hours
movie.
and 8 minutes long. It ends
It's a
right
good
around
pick.
2 hours and 1 minute. It just, so much of it, because of its length, I didn't really recall a lot of it. I must confess. I mean, there's a lot of scenes jammed into this.
Yeah.
But I really didn't.
Yeah, I'm due to watch this again. It's
I
been a
didn't
while.
remember.
Love it.
And I just love the black and white. It's just so crisp and clear.
Yeah, it
and
really is a beautiful
Unlike a
looking
film
film.
that we just saw recently, a film that
The
you might be
Lighthouse.
familiar with
Yes,
called The Lighthouse.
exactly.
Which is a gray, dreary, horrifying film.
Yes, you didn't
And
care
this
for it.
film was just beautiful, crisp, and
Yeah.
black and whites.
Yes.
And just that brilliance of true contrast. Unlike The Lighthouse,
Yes.
which has no contrast at all. It's just gray, it's blank, it's dreary, it's miserable. It's concrete incarnate. And, I didn't like it.
I know you did.
But anyway, regardless, let's move
Move
on.
on. Well, this is a
great
good
little
choice.
film.
I'm glad you brought it in.
Yeah, Tim is wondrous.
He
He did a
really
great job. I think it's
agree.
one of his true masterpieces.
I think it's his best film. I think it's his masterpiece.
Do you?
I think so.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, I love a lot of his earlier stuff. I love Beetlejuice. I love Edward Scissorhands. I think Pee-wee's Big Adventure is great.
I love
Batman.
Sweeney Todd. I love Batman. I love Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, I mean, he's made a lot of good films.
I love Batman Returns.
But
Batman Returns. I adore that.
No, these are all fun.
Oh, I
But
love
I just
Batman.
think this film had a maturity to it.
It did.
That was really a peak for him.
It was
Really
made
loved it.
with love.
It really was.
Towards and Johnny Depp went and bought Bela Lugosi's house.
Oh yeah.
After he made this film, he just went and found Bella's house that he lived in. It was for sale. He bought it.
Great.
Just because of his love for.
What if he still owns it?
The character? I wonder. I doubt it.
Yeah, maybe sold it.
He probably beat some. He probably beat.
If he was smart, he could have turned it into a Bella museum. And
He
just
probably
said,
beat Amber Heard up in there,
Maybe
and
he did.
she sued him and won the house from him.
Exactly.
There you go.
So let's move on. I'm
move
going to
on.
cover Motherless Brooklyn.
There you go.
Since you didn't get to see it.
I didn't really have a desire.
Motherless
to
Brooklyn
be
is
honest.
in theaters now.
Okay.
It's the newest effort by Edward Norton. He's not only the star of the film, he produced it. He wrote the screenplay based on a book that he loved from 20 years ago. He also obviously directed the film. And it's a very interesting film. It takes place in 1950s New York City. He plays a private detective.
A private.
A private detective.
Private detective.
Private detective.
Private
who
detective.
who has Tourette's syndrome.
Yeah.
But at this period, nobody really knows exactly what it is. It wasn't like named that back then, but that's what it is.
Okay.
And so he works for a big-time private detective who runs the firm, which is Bruce Willis.
Ah.
And he works for him. Bobby Cannavale works for him, and a couple other actors.
It just occurred to me. What other film were they in together, Bruce and Edward?
They got to know each other on Moonrise Kingdom, which is a Wes Anderson film.
Correct.
And what's interesting is that years ago, Bruce Willis had said to Edward Norton, I don't know if it was after Moonrise Kingdom or was it something that he said years before,
Right.
but he said, hey, if you're ever going to direct something out, something again, let me know. I want to be in it, whatever it is.
Interesting.
And then when he was getting ready to make this movie, he's like, he's not going to remember that he said that. So Edward Norton called him. He goes, oh yeah, I remember that. I'm in.
Bruce is just sitting by his phone in his agent's office, though.
Yeah, he's waiting.
Whatever film it is,
Yeah.
he's just like De Niro and.
I know. There's a few of these guys.
a
that
few
just
of
do
these
whatever.
guys, they answer the phone. He'll take it.
He'll take it.
You know?
But I will say that Bruce is really good in this film. This is not really a spoiler because it's in the trailer. Within the first 2 minutes, Bruce Willis' character dies.
Oh.
And the whole movie is about...
I didn't know that.
It's in the trailer.
I don't watch trailers.
Well, he's not in the movie long. This is like the crux of the movie. Because then Edward Norton's character is trying to find out who
Right.
killed him and why.
Yeah.
And then it takes him into this web of stuff. Alec Baldwin's in the film. He plays like
is this more of a mystery kind of film?
It's a noirish mystery. It's a drama.
Okay.
There's a little comic relief because sometimes his Tourette's is really funny,
Oh,
and he
okay.
does a really good job with it, in my opinion.
Does
and
it?
I'm generally not somebody who likes seeing characters in films with Tourette's syndrome.
Where do we know this girl from?
That's Gugu Mbatha Raw. It's been in a ton of stuff.
Google Mbatha Raw.
Gugu Mbatha
How come
Raw
you
is
can't
her
say
name.
that, but you can't say ambiguous...
Ethnic ambiguity.
ethnic ambiguity.
Well, now I can say without a
don't
problem.
understand.
Regardless,
It's like he's walking on water here.
he's on Brooklyn Bridge. That's just light. But anyway, I think this is a wonderful film.
You loved
It's
it?
one of my favorites of the year.
Really?
Loved it. It's got just
More than we just reviewed last week, our beloved Korean film, of course.
Parasite's great too. Well, it's one of the. I think it's in the league of some of the better films of the year.
Best Picture nomination, possibly?
See, I don't know if it's going to get that, but I thought it was really good. It's got a very, like I said before, a noirish quality. It's got really kind of a haunting score. It's got jazz. Tom York of Radiohead did some music for the film.
Sounds like a Clint Eastwood score almost.
Yeah, but it's not. Well, I mean, it could be jazzy like that. Yeah, but I liked it, and it's got a great supporting cast. Willem Dafoe is excellent in this.
Right.
Alec Baldwin has probably never been better. He's
It's
the
too
villain.
bad that Willem Dafoe had to be in our
Lighthouse?
In the Lighthouse.
But he might be up for an Oscar for that movie.
no, he won't. You know,
he might be nominated.
Well, no,
Not win,
today,
but he might be nominated.
Today, Variety went through. They did this last week for Best Actress. And today they did it for Best Actor, who they feel will be nominated.
Yes.
And the nominations were, one of them, of course, was the Elton John kid from...
Taron Egerton?
Taron Egerton.
Was a good performance.
Could be nominated.
Was Leo in there?
Leo is in there.
How about Willem?
I think, no.
He wasn't
no,
in there.
No, nowhere near.
Okay.
Gee, I'm trying to think who else they had. They had some other good
Good
representation.
Anybody from The Irishman? Probably supporting actor for Pacino, right?
No, well, no, they didn't
that's
do
next
supporting. They just did Best Actor.
Because they're saying it's going to be a battle between him and Brad Pitt for that category.
Oh, really?
Anyway, to finish this review,
Okay.
I really can't recommend Motherless Brooklyn enough. I loved
Really?
it.
Okay.
It's so well done. I think Edward
It
did a
ends
great
nicely.
job.
It,
It comes together.
Good.
The cast is excellent. I really enjoyed seeing Alec
If
Baldwin
you
as
had
the
one
villain.
negative thing to say about the film, what would you say?
If I had to say something negative, it's. I mean,
Listen, people.
I really
we've got to hurry along.
liked
Here.
it.
We've got to hurry.
No,
along.
honestly, I really don't have anything negative to say about it.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it.
Okay, cool.
I really like this film.
Good enough.
And I think you'll like it.
I'm sure I
think
will.
you'll like
Actually, no, just
Yeah,
by
you don't have to rent out to see
just
the
the
theater.
feel of it. You know,
You can wait to see it at home.
You know, I think I saw Alec Baldwin, Bruce Willis, and
Yeah.
it just kind of turned me a little bit.
Yeah, it's not them doing like,
Yeah.
they do a good job in this film.
Okay.
Alec is back to drama.
I like Alec.
He's
I
great
like
in this.
Alec.
He's really
I do,
mean
but,
in this movie.
You know, just okay.
He plays like a city
He's
planner.
always mean.
He plays a city planner that's really fairly corrupt, and he's
Okay.
really good in this.
Interesting.
Bunch of other
No, it looks
supporting
good to me.
people.
I will see the
No,
film.
I really
I
recommend
will
Motherless
see the
Brooklyn.
film, absolutely.
One of the best of the year, in my
I
opinion.
will see it. Okay.
And hats off to Edward. And I saw him interviewed
Fair
at
enough.
length on the Joe Rogan podcast and told a lot of interesting stories about the making of this film.
Okay.
That really enhances my admiration for
Well,
it.
I'm glad you've been enhanced.
I
It's
have.
very
It's really
important.
good. And I really do think
does
you'd
look
like
good.
it.
It does look good.
Yeah, and anybody that likes noir, I think you're going to like
Noir?
this. Noirish films.
Oh,
I think they'll
noirish
like
film.
this.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, I'm going to move
I
on.
like Ed, but he's, I don't know, Ed's not always, he's a little milk toasty to me.
You think so?
I do, to
All
some
right.
extent. Although
He's good in
I
this.
like him in certain films, and when I, it's like something that when I'm not watching an Ed Norton film, it's like, okay, I don't want to see an Ed Norton film. Then I get to the film, I sit down, I watch it, and I'm always like, wow, that was great.
Good,
you know?
okay.
No, I always like him. I liked American X. I thought he was.
American History X is probably his best performance.
I think it probably
Love
is
that
too.
film.
But he's done a
Well,
lot of
Primal Fear also was great.
Primal Fear was
Love
great.
that too.
Yeah, that was he's
That was his big breakout.
He's psychotic.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, let's
that was
move
a
on
great
to
film.
your second review.
Okay.
Daryl's number 2 is.
I don't know if you. I think you missed one of mine.
No, I didn't. This is number 2.
Is it? You sure?
Yeah. Yeah, I labeled it number 2.
Oh, okay. Very well.
The Scarlet
Well, we have the Scarlet
Empress.
Empress here. She is.
I
the
have not seen this
lovely
film.
Marlene Dietrich. This is a Joseph von Sternberg film
Yes.
from 1934. My God, what a beautifully shot film this is. Once again, it's all the Criterion.
Beautiful black and white.
It is in beautiful black and white, but the Criterions are so grainy. They're just so. Look at this guy's face, though.
That's cool.
I'm telling you, she plays a little German girl who is brought to Germany to provide the prince of, played magnificently by Sam Jaffe. Sam Jaffe went on to be in the Ben Casey show. He was the brilliant scientist in The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Yes, I saw that.
But he's just amazing. He plays a half-wit in it.
Now, is this movie in German?
No, not at all.
Oh, it's in English.
It's totally.
Oh, okay,
it's
great.
a Paramount picture made
Great.
in America.
Okay, good.
And Marlena is just that magnificent face, but she's brought as a wedding of no choice of hers to marry this prince of Russia,
Okay.
and to provide the Russian empowerment with a son.
Yes.
That's her whole thing to do. That's
Okay.
all she's being brought to do. However, being that Marlene Dietrich is playing the role, you know that she's going to be a little bit more powerful than
Yeah.
that, as she does. And she's Catherine II.
Yeah.
Her husband he's a half-wit. Now this guy tells her, now this woman, I should know her name, she steals the show in every scene she's
Right.
in. You know, back in the old days, back in the 30s and the 40s and so forth, but specifically the 30s, we never really had characters just yell. You know, be real and be intense and yell.
Yeah.
They would always be subdued. Even today, in today's films. It's very rare, unless it's an action film where someone's yelling at somebody.
Yeah.
But we don't hear somebody just go
an
out
outburst.
and shut up over there. Don't you hear what I'm... And she just it rivets me. That woman, I should know her name. I don't. She's got that Margaret Rutherford kind of an ambience of that supporting character. Jane Darwell, if you would. Jane was in, naturally, Gone with the Wind, and but you know, and Jane was also in. No, she wasn't in Gone with the Wind. She was in Grapes of Wrath, 1940. But so Marlena is brought in from Germany with her mother. Her mother's kind of a crazy bitch, and Marlena has to marry Sam Jaffe, who is a half-wit. He's a dunce. He's a total blithering moron, and he walks around the whole film like this. He's almost like the Elsa Lanchester in The Bride of Frankenstein, but he's got this evil grin on his face at all times. And he collects little toy soldiers that he has built for him. And they're little toys. It's just outrageous. It's so ridiculously stupid. But he then turns, he doesn't like Marlene. He doesn't like this new woman who's been brought in to be the mother of his child. He hates her, in fact. So, and he's in love with one of the little chambermaids, right? So, after the old lady passes, he is now she passes away. I'm not spoiling anything. This is a historical film based on fact. He then becomes more crazed and more nuts, and then Marlena has to kind of overpower. I was a little bit disappointed in the, there's constant, almost silent film readouts. Nobody narrates. But you're seeing dialogue written on the screen. A paragraph will be written, and then she went from Germany, she moved to blah, 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 and went through various hills and valleys to finally read blah, blah, blah. And so it just kind of moves the film along.
Yeah.
It's only an hour and 44 minutes long. I'll tell you, I really loved it. It was just great. It was fun. It's loud. Oh, this incredible artwork is all over the place.
Very cool.
Joseph is like Fritz Lang, another great German director.
Yeah.
These guys just had visions of just brilliance. It's just amazing how much they are so conscious, unlike American directors, they went for story, drama, plot, characters, actors. That's it. But these guys, they go for character, story, plot also, but they also went for background. They went for set design. And then what are the first folks to really do it, in the early years. Just that amazing.
It's important, and now
it is important. Now
it's more of a standard everywhere
now. Now,
but they paved the way.
We have people that specifically design. Where Joseph was, and it also says a cast of 1,000 players. Well, they're on display here. There's scenes there where we're looking out over all of when the old woman dies, for example. We just see this mass crowd, and everyone's cheering and blah blah blah, and it means that Catherine II is now going to become the Empress of Russia. A fascinating film, 1934. I can't say enough about it. It was a cool
And this
film.
is the first time you saw it?
First time I saw it.
Cool. And you've had the Criterion probably for a while, right?
I'd like to point this out, if I may. It's just sitting right here. Here is whoa, shit. As all the films go flying out.
Oh, wow. But it's a pretty nice little box set.
It's a little box set. And here it is. It's Dietrich and von Sternberg.
Great.
And in Hollywood. And they're just making all these films. I don't know if you can see that. Let me put it up there. So all you fine folks can see.
They can see it.
But yeah, it's just amazing. And there's also other films in here. I was so disappointed, though, that The Blue Angel is not. When Marlena first started out in Hollywood and in films in general, well, The Blue Angel was made in Germany. That's why it's not included.
Oh, I see.
But she plays a kind of a cabaret singer in the back, and she's, let's see what it's one of the songs she sings. Let's see what the boys in the back room will have, 'cause I will be having the same. Marlena Dietrich was noted for her legs. Literally the most beautiful legs. I mean, I saw The Blue Angel, and I tell you, she's drop dead gorgeous. She is just a lovely, lovely woman. Here she is a little bit older in the world. She's just getting on in years. She's probably she might be 45, 50 there. But my God, she is just a lovely creature, and the camera adores her. She and Garbo both had those magnificently carved faces that just really, I swear to God, light just literally goes into one crevice, and there's shadow here. There, it's just the way she's lit. It's just a constant artistic being unto its own. Just to watch her on film, I love the film.
Sounds great.
We may move on.
Let's do it. All right, so obviously we're going to do another one of mine. We're going to go here to film Witches of Eastwick, which I've never seen before.
Oh, you're kidding.
I'd never seen it.
All right.
I'd always wanted to. And hence, we want to watch films these days that we want to see.
Well, I won't be shooting myself over that
This
one.
is a 1987 film, the first American film.
Directed by George
Miller, one of the few American films.
Mad Max director himself.
This film was a very stressful experience for him as a filmmaker.
Was it?
The studio was messing with him quite a bit to the point that he was almost going to leave the production.
It's a major hit.
It was.
Big
It was. And Nicholson said, listen, because they wanted to try to remove Miller. Nicholson said, you remove Miller, I'm walking off the movie.
Good.
So anyway, it's just a fun movie.
It's a farce.
It is. Yeah, we have Cher, we have Michelle Pfeiffer, and we have Susan Sarandon.
Yeah.
They are friends.
Look at how beautiful she is.
In this small New
By the
England
way,
town.
Cher is playing Madison Square
She
Garden
is.
in like
She's got a whole bunch of shows.
a month.
I saw that. Yeah,
I know.
So they play a bunch of women.
There she is from Alien.
Yes, Veronica Cartwright.
I know.
We also have Richard Jenkins in this film, who plays her husband.
Oh, wow.
They run a newspaper in this film. This is Richard Jenkins' first kind of big studio role.
Really?
As an actor. You see, he's very young in this film.
Okay. He continued to play, husbands.
A lot for years.
Psychiatrists across the
Oh
board.
yeah, and he's great.
Look at Jack.
But Jack chews the scenery as basically the devil.
Yeah.
These three women find out that they're witches kind of by mistake. And they kind of bring forth the perfect man that they think they want.
Right.
All of a sudden he comes into town as a stranger
Richard
who
Jenkins.
buys Richard. He buys the big mansion that's been vacant for years.
Right.
He brings with him this tall, skinny manservant who is our buddy we just saw before. That you mentioned.
Oh, the Lurch guy.
The Lurch guy.
Oh, okay.
His name is...
Oh, look at this scene. What a great shot.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
This
That
is
guy's
a
name is
great.
Carlo Stricken.
I'm very proud of you. Well, and not that I shouldn't be. For
It's a
all
very
your
fun movie.
brothers. Yeah, John Peters, of course, produced this.
John Peters, who is sometimes can be a annoying producer. He's the guy that was trying to.
Yeah, a little
He did
bit.
Wild Wild West. He's the one that was trying to force when Kevin Smith was doing a script of Superman. He was trying to force him to bring a scene with a giant spider.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Anyway,
Well,
doesn't
John
matter.
Peters, I believe. Didn't he co-produce Titanic? Am I wrong about that?
I
I thought John Peters was in there.
I don't know about that. I'd have to look it up.
There's a very
Unless
famous,
there's multiple John Peters.
no, just one.
No.
But there's a John. I could be wrong.
I'll look
but,
it up later, but
Yeah,
you
I'd
could-
like to look it up too.
But regardless, this is just a
no, I love this
fun
film.
movie.
I read the book, believe it or not. The book
Yeah,
by
it was a
John Updike.
Yeah, famous novel.
Who wrote the novel?
Yeah.
I read the novel.
Yeah.
The novel is graphically sexy and
sure.
far more, not nearly as comic oriented as this is.
Yeah.
Although John Updike, he did Rabbit Run, and
Yes.
he did a whole trilogy about the rabbit, the John Rabbit character. But of course, his nickname was Jack Rabbit. But but look at Michelle right here.
She's so beautiful.
I'm telling you
she's
something.
wonderful in this too.
Yeah, she
They're all
really
perfectly
is.
cast.
I love this film.
There's great chemistry between everybody. There's that great scene where Nicholson is first trying to seduce Cher.
Right.
And he's laying on his bed, almost like a cat sprawled out, and she has this monologue like ripping him a new asshole.
Right.
But at the end of it,
Cher does.
they end up having a romance.
Okay.
But it's just a fun movie.
Yeah.
It's just a kind of a classic. I've always wanted to see it, just for whatever reason I just didn't until now, and I really enjoyed it.
Jack.
I didn't love it, but I really enjoyed it.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Jack is always playing this kind of character. I think
Yeah.
he typecasted himself.
A little bit.
He went into Wolf, did the same basic
Mike
thing.
Nichols film.
Wolf.
Yeah, honestly,
I
I'm
kinda
probably
like
one of the
Wolf.
few. I love that film.
No, I like Wolf
I like
too.
that a lot. that
Also,
was the first.
Michelle Pfeiffer also.
Michelle Pfeiffer as well.
Yeah.
A bunch of actors in that film. Richard Jenkins is in that.
Oh, is he?
As well as David Hyde Pierce from Frasier.
Oh, right.
That was the first film that I ever purchased on pay-per-view.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember because I was really excited about it.
Okay.
But
Where were you? At home?
my house, my parents' house.
Oh, okay.
I was 94. I was a
wow.
kid.
Interesting.
But I love Jack. I'd
Same
love
year
to
as
see
Ed Wood. Gee.
94. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Jack some more. I know he's basically retired. So, right, one of the things that I've been doing is I've been compiling a list the past few weeks of movies that I've overlooked or movies that I've been wanting to see and I've put off because of obligations on this show of watching things we felt obligated to watch.
Sure.
Now, I'm making a list of movies that I'm going to knock off. So I have a whole list of all the films of Jack that I haven't seen.
Oh, really?
And this is one I'm crossing off the list.
What else do you have you haven't seen?
Oh,
Or do you not want to
list.
say because...
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. But there's a lot. I mean, a lot of his earlier stuff I haven't seen.
Oh, really?
Like, there's that Western he did with Brando. I haven't
That's
seen
a horrible film.
I haven't seen...
what was that called?
Heartburn I haven't seen.
Mississippi
Breaks. Mississippi Breaks. Yeah. But regardless,
I think John
like Jack.
Belushi's in that film.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I believe you're
Yeah,
right.
not a good film.
But I really enjoyed Jack in this movie.
Jack is
really
always,
fun.
when Jack is Jack is. There's no one else
I
as
know.
good, and
You can't
he
replace
centrifies a film
Yeah.
so drastically.
He really does.
Even when he's not on screen,
Yeah.
you're thinking of him.
You are.
And he brings the whole. He's just a central character.
He has such presence.
Such power as an actor, as everything.
does.
In every film he's in, he really.
I remember when
he brings great ambience.
over the years,
atmosphere.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. Over the years, I always for years I was always reading Roger Ebert's reviews, but I would also go back and read reviews of other films. After I've seen them, like for example,
Of course.
after I saw Carnal Knowledge, 10 years ago,
Okay.
I went back and I read Ebert's review of that film,
Mm-hmm.
and in that review, he made a note of Nicholson, who had only recently before that kind of come on the scene. He was only around, let's say, a handful of years at that point.
Right.
And he was saying, we got this new interesting actor, Jack Nicholson, who's been
Yeah, I think that was
amazing so far.
Jack's his first major film.
Big, yeah.
To some extent.
Well, Easy Rider broke out for him,
Yeah,
and
Easy
then after
Rider.
that,
Yeah, but he was just and he
Feisty,
he dies. He dies pretty quick in Easy Rider.
I know,
He's
yeah.
Not too long. in that film.
Five Easy Pieces was early.
Yeah.
Then you had what's the one where he plays the sailor?
Well, you had
Last
the
Detail.
You had the King of Marvin Gardens
King, yeah.
also.
I watched that a few months ago too.
Did you?
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah,
It's not great.
That's Warren Beatty and
no, it's him and Bruce Dern.
Oh, okay.
You're thinking of Reds, which I want to see. That's on my list.
No, nothing on Reds. I thought there was a film that Ellen Burstyn and I thought Warren Beatty was in. I am correct. There is a film.
Well, maybe a different one.
Yeah, there is.
But
a
not with
different
Jack.
film.
You're thinking of
Yeah.
something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I did want to point out about, very briefly here, about the Marlene Dietrich, Scarlet Empress. A lot of nudity at the beginning of the film.
Interesting.
You
Back
see
then, huh?
women, you see women like on crucifixes that the former Tsar of Russia,
Had
like Ivan the Terrible
crucified?
did. Yeah, these women are
They're naked?
crucified naked. Yeah,
Wow,
breasts
okay.
and
1934 must have been
1934.
scandalous.
Well, I do believe Ecstasy with Hedy Lamarr was right around that time, and that's when the moral code of the the Hollywood code of what people can see, what children should not see. So suddenly there was a distinction between the mature audience and the general audience.
Makes sense.
And Gone with the Wind, of course, was actually a general audience.
Yeah,
believe it or
yeah,
not. Even with some of the death scenes that
Yeah.
are there and the sieging of Atlanta by General Sherman. But interestingly enough, this is a great choice.
this is a fun
You
film.
got three very beautiful
Actresses,
women
top
at
of their game.
Top of their
Yeah,
game.
I
They're
agree.
still all
They're
pretty
still-
much
yeah.
going headstrong.
Cher has done fewer movies the past few years,
True.
but she's still performing.
She
I
does.
saw on IMDb she's got a couple of the films eventually.
I think
in
the last
production.
film, the last big film she probably did was Burlesque.
That,
with,
and then she was in the Mamma Mia sequel.
Oh, correct.
And then she's got a couple of things in various stages of
There you go.
limbo or
That's a
whatever.
bizarre shot. To
Yeah,
shoot.
if I have one critique on this, it's just that there's a scene at the end where let's just say we see Jack's true form.
Oh.
A little corny,
Was it?
but still overall very forgivable and a very
Okay.
fun movie.
Okay.
But let's move on to your next choice.
Okay.
We're going to go to Daryl's. This would be your third choice. Daryl 3.
Is it?
Yeah, because
Okay.
you did Dietrich.
I did.
And then you did before that, you did Ed Wood.
Correct.
So Daryl 3 is Wizard of Oz.
There you go.
Oh, that's a good choice.
It is a good choice.
You can't deny it's classic.
Well, the reason I put it on here was because it just came out. It's just on its 80th anniversary. 1919 to, forgive me, 1939 to 2019. Of course, here's the scene stealer. I do have Margaret
Which?
Hamilton
Back there.
right over there, so
Yes.
perhaps a shot later on.
I can do that. I got a million
hand.
shots of her.
There you go. Oh, do you? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, here's Margaret, just in her standard prose. But
Funny, I've never seen her without makeup
I
on, and
know.
I would know in a
Well, you're
second
gonna
that
see
she's the
her.
witch.
Well, you're going to see her in a moment with Mr. Fred Rogers, believe it or
Oh.
not. This is a feature that's always on YouTube. It always blows my mind. There's always some guy there, the unboxing of.
where some guy will literally open up a
Yeah.
box and be it. There's every Beatle, every album, CD ever
Yeah.
made. These guys just simply, they just undo them and they photograph and they go
Yeah.
step by step and they do this with the Wizard of Oz. Here's the cast.
Well, that's a spin-off too of a whole series of things that started with children opening boxes. That's
Oh,
a
okay.
big trend.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's cool.
Well, let's talk about this just for a second. This is a 4K.
Oh,
Here,
nice.
Look, there's Margaret with
That's cool. Fred
Mr.
Rogers,
Fred
huh?
Rogers right there. I know.
Wow.
And look how lovely she is right
Yeah.
there. She's really just a beaming.
I wonder what year that
a
was.
beaming. This has to be. I'm going to say
60s?
60s. Yeah.
So she must have been an older woman. then.
Well, she was. You got to remember, 60s.
Well, how
were
old-
Only 21 years after 1939.
That's true.
So, she probably was a young woman back
Yeah,
in
but yeah,
1930.
true.
This is her son, by the way.
Okay.
I don't know why I put him in there, but I
cool.
just thought it was kind of a cool
Oh, yeah,
thing. Just to see some of the behind
This
the scenes
is a
things,
classic.
but
You know,
it is a classic.
my wife hates this movie.
Does she?
I don't know if it scarred her as a kid, but she just can't watch it.
I love the
I
film.
grew up on this movie.
They've always said that you want to know who your friends are. If it's 3 o'clock in the morning or 11 o'clock at night, everyone's leaving your party. Put on The Wizard of Oz. The people who stay are your friends. The people who leave are not your friends. That's a very
It's a bit
common
extreme,
denomination. There's truth to that. I made that test. And the people who stay along are your kind of friends who share your childhood, your childhood self with you. And those are the people that are very important in our world. But regardless, the big question here, does it really merit the 4K delivery? Warner Brothers says this is astounding. They went back to the original 3-strip negative,
Yeah.
and they made this film basically kind of, resurrected it from scratch
Yeah.
to give it a vibrant look. I'll tell you something, the opening monochrome sequence that lasts for approximately 20 minutes or so before we go full out-and-out color.
Yeah.
It's only an hour and 43-minute film.
I thought I always remember that, to me, standing out as a very brilliant choice.
It's
to
just a wonderful thing to
separate
do.
the black and white and color.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was
well,
great.
when she's over the rainbow,
Exactly. It was
suddenly it just turns
just
into
made
a
so much
color
sense.
thing. And
My brother-in-law Jason, who you know very well, loves this movie.
Yeah, it's
loves the
just-
whole
it's just a
book. She
wonderful-
loves the whole world.
it's
of
just
Wizard
a
of Oz.
world. It's
Yeah.
just a beautiful thing.
The flying
and,
monkeys are still terrifying.
terrifying, and they still there's a big myth of how the hell did they do that?
Oh yeah.
A lot of people are wondering. I love this new box. That's her lying in the puppies.
Yes.
Puppies, sleep.
Sleep, I remember
She
that.
wants to make her sleep so she can steal the ruby slippers off of her. But then, of course, Linda the Good Witch makes it snow so it wakes up her and the lion. If I were king of the forest, not duke, not pope, not earl. I'll tell you something, I love this film. These things must be done very delicately. But the real question is how to do it. I'll get you and your little dog, too. I just
Classic
adore this
line.
film. I mean, I just walk around the house. I'm kind of quoting. I remember once running into a girl. I used to have a store back in Ill-Annoyed, and a young woman walked into the store, and I was playing the film. She knew every single line of this movie
Yeah.
and said it before they did.
That's
I mean,
fun.
there's a lot of insignificant stuff in this film where just dialogue is, constant. Knew every single line. I always how did she do that? I have to do that now. Of course, you've got to watch the film, and she said to me, I've watched it every year, but every year, that's a tough thing to do.
Yeah.
Of course, Ray Bolger, I'll miss you most of all,
Yeah.
Scarecrow.
That was great.
You're made out
Beautiful
of stone
scene.
if you don't
Beautiful.
tear up when she says goodbye to the Scarecrow.
Beautiful scene.
And of course, Frank Morgan plays the wonderful Wizard of Oz. And that's the horse of a different color.
You've never seen the Broadway show of Wicked, have you?
I have not.
I mean, I know it's a musical, but it's great. I saw it.
I'd love to see
It's
it.
awesome. It's all from
really
the
would.
witch's
I know it's all from the witch's
perspective. It's probably
perspective.
worth you going to a matinee or something. one day.
They did do a sequel not too long ago with James Franco called The Great and Powerful Oz.
Didn't see it.
Which is not a great movie by
No.
any means, but it does have the lovely little.
Well, it does have a good cast.
What's his name's wife? That '70s show.
Mia Kunis.
Mia Kunis is
Yes,
in the
she's
film.
in the film.
And she's kind of cool. I kind of
Yeah.
liked it. She played the Wicked Witch in this film.
Okay.
And this is all pre pre-Wizard of
So
Oz,
it's a prequel.
pre-Dorothy. It's a prequel.
Prequel.
Yeah, it's how the wizard got there.
Got there, yes.
But that's really not true, because you see in the film that he blew in.
He did.
From a hurricane that blew him in, and he only got here literally days ago.
Yes.
He was heralded as a great wizard because he got there. But regardless, does it merit this incredible?
That's the verdict, does it?
I have to say,
No.
not really. It really doesn't. It's just another opportunity
To make
for
more money,
Warner
that's
Brothers
all it is.
to put out new packaging and to do this. But I will say this, on my magnificent television that
looked good?
sits before you, it did look. There are moments there where the clarity is just spectacular. And specifically, forgive me as I burp away here, as my coffee begins to gurgle within my throat and eventually just collapse within my throat. I'm going to look like Veronica Cartwright at the moment as I start spewing things. But does it merit it? I have to say probably not. You know, we know this film so well. There are certain times where you just can't notice the clarity anymore. It's like watching an incredible copy of The Godfather. Okay, you realize that it's a good picture and so forth. But the true key to any film is it's all in your memory. It's all in your mind. You know, we only watch a film worthy of a 4K release, or when we go to movie theaters even. The only thing that really stays with us is that memory. That's all we are as human beings. We're just human tampons. We just absorb everything that there is to absorb, and we go into movie theaters and we see what we have to see, and we absorb it, and we absorb it. Then when we take it away, we sometimes often don't even remember that we saw it in a movie theater, that we saw it in 4K, that we saw it. You might have seen it on your phone, and it doesn't matter, because all that stays with you is the people, the characters, the drama, the story.
Exactly.
The story is what really stays with you, and the actors and actresses are part of that story.
I will say I can usually remember if I've seen a film in the theater or not.
Well, I can too.
Pretty good with that too.
I am also, because we're movie buffs.
We are, yeah.
And we like to get
to the point that I even remember what theater I saw it in. That's even more intense.
Generally.
Sometimes it's a little hazy.
And I can remember if I had a bad experience, like when I saw Platoon, for example.
Yeah.
There was literally, I was me in a theater and a man and a woman who sat directly behind me. It was a matinee.
Yeah.
I saw it at the Eden's Theater in Illinois, and this man and woman, and the film was Platoon. Oh, forgive me. I'm totally mistaken. I was here in New York in 1987 when that film came. 86 when that film came out.
Yes, won Best Picture.
And won Best Picture. But this woman behind me kept saying, "What's he doing now?" And she almost talked like the wicked.
That's annoying.
And she, "What's he doing now?" And the husband would just go, "Well, he's trying to keep it down." And say, "But look, now he's gonna die." You know, and I finally, towards the end of the movie, I'm sitting literally right in front of, maybe 2 rows in front of them. At the end of the film, I get up and I go, "You completely ruined this film for me."
Nice.
And she goes, "What? What? Like, who's he? What are you saying? Get out of here," she says. I said, "I wish you could have just shut the hell up. You ruined this movie. I just wanted to watch it."
Why didn't you do like a shh during the movie?
I did several times.
Oh, and she just ignored you.
I think she was part deaf, because that's why she was screaming
Probably
so loud.
what the deal was.
Oh, it's just god
That
awful.
sucks.
It's just horrible.
I'll move on. But yeah, that's annoying though when people do that.
Yeah.
So they think the theater is their home living room. You know.
Exactly.
It's so annoying.
You know, I will say this though. Black audiences are the most fun, specifically during
a bad film. 100% agree. That I don't mind.
You know, please don't go in the attic. No, don't go in the attic. I told you not to go in the attic.
Classic
the best
stuff.
times
I agree.
ever.
I agree.
I remember seeing a friend of mine can attest to this. Seeing a Bruce Lee film where he fights Chuck Norris.
Yes.
It was Return of the Dragon.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I think it was Return of the Dragon, actually. And there were 2 guys on the side of the audience, and they're yelling. It was like a black guy and a white guy, and they're yelling at each other across the film. And he goes, but yeah, Bruce gonna beat him. And then they said, no, Chuck Norris is gonna beat him. No, Bruce is gonna beat him. But Bruce don't get no pussy. That's what he said.
That's pretty funny.
Things like that stay with you. I don't know why.
Yeah, you don't forget that stuff.
But the whole audience was dying.
It's funny. It's funny.
We were laughing our asses off. I remember leaving that theater, and some guy was walking by me and goes, "He's a cop. You're a cop, ain't you?" Because I had red hair, and this was in Chicago.
Yes.
And, "You're a cop, ain't you?" I said, "No, I'm not a cop. Get the hell away from me." Please leave me alone.
That's funny.
And then I said, "You're under arrest, buddy," just as a goof.
That's pretty good.
Let us move on.
All right, so my next choice
Number 6
is Fearless, 1993,
Oh,
Jeff
wow.
Bridges film,
Oh, okay.
directed by Peter Weir.
Yeah.
Again,
I remember this film.
a film I've always wanted to see. I'm going to go right off the bat and say I didn't love this movie.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. It was a little...
Oh, great Jeff looks here.
He's great. And this is apparently one of his favorite roles.
Did you see this in lieu of your Tucker choice from last week?
No, it's just, I was just looking and seeing what I was in the mood to watch, and I was in the mood to watch this.
Where
And
did
I
you
liked-
find this film, by
This
the
was
way?
on Amazon.
It was on Amazon.
And this is a...
You know, we don't say enough where we get our films from. We should do that.
I do in every episode. I put the title underneath the screen.
Oh, good.
Now I've been doing that now for weeks. It looks
Oh,
great.
wonderful. I should probably watch the show.
You probably should. Although you said you watched all of last week's show.
I did watch
and
all
you
this
didn't
show.
notice it.
I didn't notice it.
It's
yeah.
okay.
It's all right.
Regardless,
Isabella.
Rossellini. Again, I want to say this is a
Isabella.
Peter Weir film.
What year was this?
This was 1993.
Oh, okay.
This is a Peter Weir film, and I like his films. He did Witness.
Yeah.
I love Master and Commander with Russell
he's a
Crowe.
great Australian director.
He's a great Australian director. There's even another big one I'm forgetting. I really like the Mosquito
Rosie
Coast.
Perez right here.
Yeah,
Wow.
he did Mosquito Coast. I like that.
Oh, I like
Dead
this one.
Poet Society.
Yeah.
And The Truman Show, which is a brilliant film.
I'm
Love
not
that film.
real fond of that film.
Regardless, so this film is about Jeff Bridges and his business.
Look, is that Benicio?
Young Benicio. Jeff Bridges is in this film basically a survivor of a terrible airline crash. And a handful of people survive. He saves this young kid. He saves a baby. And then the film just basically chronicles him just living with no fear, doing things,
Right.
standing on the edge of a building and going, driving a car really fast, just doing things as
kind
if,
of things I do every day.
pretty much, doing things with no thought of consequence. And then his wife is kind of like, first of all, the first thing he does is...
Isabella's his wife or Rosie?
Isabella Rossellini is his wife.
Okay.
Rosie Perez is one of the people that survived.
I wish Isabella Rossellini was my wife.
Exactly.
Let me tell you that.
Rosie Perez
lovely
is a
lady.
fellow survivor.
Okay.
But the first thing he does when he survives the crash, he walks away from the crash site, gets the cab, goes to a hotel in some town in the middle of nowhere. Instead of calling his wife to say, "Hi, I'm okay," he gets home. She's like, "Why didn't you tell me you were alive?" So, and he's escorted home by a psychiatrist played by John Turturro that was sent to him by the airline.
I would have turned the film off at that point.
You don't like Turturro.
I'm not a Turturro fan, but that's not true.
But anyway, so this...
I saw the film in the theater.
Yeah, this film just... Basically what it ends up being about, everything that he's gone through, it's basically PTSD.
Yeah.
He is pushing away from people. He is living in his head, and he's really not himself, and he's basically in shock in many ways too. Mm-hmm. But I thought it was very well acted. It was an interesting story. I thought it was I don't know. I just felt that it was something about it. I guess I was a little put off by his behavior.
It's a little bit
for
low
a
key.
lot of
It's
the
a
film.
low key film.
It's a little low key.
It's not in your face movie.
It's not.
It just kind of plays itself out
It does,
before
and,
you.
but it's got some great supporting performance. Tom Hulce is in the film.
No, I agree.
He plays the lawyer who just sees money. Here he is, right here. He goes,
Okay.
"I can get you guys this much money." He's really into it.
Is that Tom Hulce? Oh, it
That's
is Tom Hulce.
Tom Hulce, yeah.
I always thought that was Greg Kinnear.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. But this was way before.
Quite a bit. No,
But,
Tom just had done Amadeus, of course.
Correct.
And
Yeah,
was
a couple
still
years
very
before.
popular.
Great
He
film.
faded away
Yeah.
quickly.
But
What a
regardless,
shame. Tom Hulce was also in Animal Farm. Animal
House.
Animal House,
yeah.
I mean. And he was hilarious.
He was in
that.
Parenthood, which is a film I love with Ron Howard film.
He was in the TV show also, I believe.
I don't know about that, but maybe.
No, maybe not.
But regardless, I think it's a good film.
Okay.
I didn't love it, like I said. I'd say it's a 3-star for me.
Really?
You can watch it at home. Where else are you going to watch it? It's not in the theater, really. At best, though, 3 at best.
Okay.
Maybe I'll
Fair
do
enough.
2 3/4. But I like Jeff in this film. I always like Jeff.
I do too.
And he really puts his all into his roles.
As always.
And I thought
he's
she was
very
excellent.
committed.
There's some good scenes between the two of them about them just talking about what's going on with our marriage, And
Right.
there's a scene where he has an outburst with his son that's interesting. And then they form not necessarily a
bond.
romantic
A
relationship,
bond.
but there's a bond. And then they have a crazy scene that happens later on in the film.
Okay.
But I guess it's worth seeing.
Is he the only? There's just a few survivors.
A handful. There's a few of them.
Okay.
Yeah. But
I remember the film Hero came out with Gina Davis and
Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin.
They basically came out, I think, around the same time.
Yeah, I think so too.
93, 94. This was 93. That might have been 94.
Yeah, and I remember Hero wasn't a great film.
No, this is a better film than Hero.
I believe that.
You know, and I'm always fascinated with films about plane crashes. I don't know why. I love that movie Millennium, which is a sci-fi movie, which is, you know, kind of a hit or miss. Some people like it, some don't. But I enjoyed this for the most part, but I didn't love it.
Okay.
But I'm glad I saw it.
Get that drift. One thing to say about people who survive, people who are survivors, specifically I mentioned the Titanic, but people who survive major disasters generally live longer than the rest of us.
Yeah.
And the reason is because, it does in a sense. But we had, that's why, you know, when the 104-year-old survivor of the Titanic died, it made the news.
It did.
And the reason why these people live so long is what they say is because you don't sweat. Once you've been through a total disaster that's so intense and so dislodges your soul from your body in such a way that it's almost like a relaxant. Well, you don't sweat the small stuff anymore.
That anxiety is gone.
That anxiety thing,
which causes stress in your body.
Well, you've already been through the most horrifying thing that your body and brain can go through. So now everything else is just a piece of cake.
Well, he has a line in his film that's
through life
to that point.
You know, like a fish out of the water.
He says in the film, he goes, we already died in our minds.
Exactly.
Because they thought they were going to die.
Of course.
So then you've hit rock bottom. It's only up from there.
Well,
so in a way,
is a piece of cake.
and
that's my point.
And the thing for me about surviving a plane crash that is interesting is that statistically, the chances of getting in a plane crash are just infinitesimal. Yeah. You're better off. You're more likely to get killed in a car wreck.
Well, they say that, but there's
how many people get into the chance of a plane crashing again? You know, maybe it's happened once.
The thing
I would probably not fear it again.
The thing about being in a plane, however, is that you're out of control.
You have no control. I know.
You have no control.
It's very
they always say, well, what if my number's up? Well, what if your number's not up, but the guy next to you, his number's up, or the captain's number's up? Yeah. You're going down for the ride. You're going to go down. So, you know, when you're in a plane, I don't know.
These days,
I freak out a little myself.
To my memory, I don't feel like I remember the last time we had a major airline crash.
It's been a long time.
Well, no, we had a bunch like last year. But my point is, I don't remember the last time we had a crash.
I don't think we had a bunch.
No, there was a bunch.
Oh, there was a bunch. Well, we had some shoot downs.
Well, no. Last year we had those.
Shot down a plane over the Ukraine.
Well, I'm not even talking about that.
Then we had that suicide guy who crashed his.
We had that one. That was no. I'm talking about. We had those two big ones with those two Boeing planes that had the Max.
Oh, well, that was computer. That was software.
But those were two in 1 year that we had that.
Yes, that was.
But my point is just
issue.
that I don't remember the last time we had a major airline crash where there were survivors. You don't really see that many survivors anymore.
No, very true.
That's the scary thing is that there's a good chance you're not going to
that's why Sully was such a god.
Well, that was amazing.
You know, when he landed on the Hudson River there, and everybody got off that.
Incredible.
The one guy who almost died, tried to jump off the raft.
Yeah.
The boat, the
little life raft.
And he tried to swim over to the shore, which was.
Well, the water was probably freezing. What a freezing.
It was chilly.
Yeah.
But I don't believe he made it. I think he ended up coming out.
Well, yeah, he had to. Yeah.
But anyway.
But anyway, let's move on.
Lovely Rosie Perez.
Rosie Perez was great in this.
Yeah.
Actually, the only Oscar nomination she got was for this film.
Really?
Yeah.
And what about Doing the Right Thing? Do the Right Thing?
Wasn't nominated. As far as I know, this is the only time she was nominated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But anyway, let's move on to the last review. Yours. Your final review.
Okay.
Is we got here.
Here's a great little movie. This is a Roman Polanski film, 1966. It's called Cul-de-sac.
Oh, I've heard of this film.
It's a wonderful little movie, and it stars. This is Lionel Stander, who later went on to be in a show called Heart to Heart. Mm-hmm. He played the hearts, played by Stephanie, what's her name, and Robert Wagner.
Robert Wagner, yes.
Stephanie was
Seymour?
No. Stephanie played the girl from Uncle.
Oh, yeah.
Stephanie, and I saw her in L.A., believe it or not. Here's Roman Polanski, and this is the film, and it's got Donald Pleasance. There's Donald. There's Lionel Stander, and this is Françoise Dorliac.
Wow.
Young woman, she was actually, here she is right here. She is magnificent in this movie. She is Catherine Deneuve's little sister.
Okay.
About 3 months after this movie was made, she got in her Volkswagen. The Volkswagen flipped over, burst into flame, and she died.
Okay.
Very, very quickly. But this is a domination film. These two people are kind of lovers. They live together. Yeah. She dresses him up and puts makeup on him and dresses on him. And she's the man of the relationship. And she's very young, and he's an older guy. And there's just this chemistry between them that just swings the wrong way. And Donald Pleasance is magnificent in this. Mm-hmm. You know, we always see Donald as kind of the sterile German Nazi, or, you know, specifically The Great Escape or whatever.
Or in Halloween.
Well, Halloween, no, he's great in Halloween.
That was kind of a change for him.
He's a warm character there. But he's got fantastic charisma on screen, and this specifically. But anyway, these two men, they come in a car, and it is washed up on the beach. And the one guy in the car passes away. He just dies. He's left there. While this other man, Lionel Stander, who's a big, gruff son of a... Here he is right here. He looks like Lon Chaney Jr. right here.
A little bit.
And he just is this big...
Is this Gandhi? Who is that?
That is Gandhi. Well, no, that's Donald Pleasance.
No, I know. He looks so different
He
there.
does look like Ben, though. Yeah, I mean, it's just a cool little film and delicious. Once again, I use that term, black and white, much like Ed Wood, unlike The Lighthouse, which is just a grim, horrible fairy tale of diminishing worthlessness. But I'll tell you, she steals every scene she's in. She's just got this crazy, wild, kind of almost like, reminds me a little bit of Courtney Love in The People versus Larry Flynn. Just this abandon.
Yeah. Talk
about fearless.
Yeah.
You know, we very, very rarely see fearless on film. I think Angelina Jolie, I've seen it a couple times. Specifically in the movie she did... it's a single word title. She's like a secret agent. What the hell is that movie? It's not a secret agent. It's a Russian espionage movie. Salt.
Yeah.
Why can't I think of Salt? I love that movie.
I know you do.
But anyway, I've seen all three versions, by the way, of Salt. It's a great film.
It is a good film.
But anyway, Angelina has to do some scenes in that, some work that is absolutely, totally horrifying. She has to hover over on a apartment building outside. She's on strings and ropes, and she has to cling to the side while they're all running into. But regardless, this film it's not a fun movie by any means. It's kind of a. It's almost like a 3-4 person play, and then we have some guests that show up. And one of the guests is a very young, lovely Jacqueline Bisset, who just shows up. I kept going, is that Jacqueline Bisset? Is that Jacqueline Bisset? Is that Jacqueline Bisset? Sure enough, you go look on the IMDb world.
Interesting.
This movie gets about a 7.1 in IMDb, and it is just a kick. Here she is putting lipstick on him, and she just likes to humiliate him, and she treats him horribly, and he adores her. And he's, of course, he's the heavy. He comes in, he's washed up on shore, and he now comes and he takes over their household.
Cool.
He comes in with his gun and he says, "You're going to do what I say now. I'm in charge." And he now dominates the two of them. And her too, even though she is undominatable, he still manages it just through
Kind of reminds me of Straw Dogs a little bit. In the way that,
quite.
the nebbish kind of a husband.
Yeah, but we don't have the rebellion
we don't have that
we have, as, you know. That we did when Susan George is, getting raped in Straw Dogs, the old Peckinpah film.
Yes.
But and Dustin is great in that movie.
He's great in that film.
That actually was also a Japanese film. There was a film called.
Was that Japanese first? Was the Straw Dogs was a remake?
I think it was just called Straw Dog, and it was had nothing to do with it. I'm just remembering.
Oh,
the title.
okay.
But anyway, I just adore this little film. It's a 1966 film. It's just a heartbreaker, though. You see and you can see how much she looks like Catherine Deneuve here. She's just wonderful. She's just amazing. And you go into a little backlog stories here of how we doing on time.
We're an hour and
we are a little
15
over.
already.
All right, well then we're done.
Yeah, but it sounds interesting.
It's really a kick. It's great fun.
Cool, and it is a Criterion film.
Criterion film. You can watch it on the Criterion Channel, by the way.
Which was rescued because it was originally the channel was going to be bashed, and then somebody bought it.
Somebody came to its.
Forget who it was. Some prominent celebrity purchased it.
I believe.
Which is great because I think that's it was called Filmstruck.
There you go.
And I
Exactly.
kind of hope that comes back because I thought that was a great idea.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like a Netflix, but it's
Well, it's
only
back
for
on.
Criterion
You can
films.
see it again. I mean, I know that I go.
I definitely want to maybe get.
I get emails
from
from Criterion, and it is back on
Cool.
again. So you can see any one of their.
That's awesome.
1,000 films there. So
and they definitely are good signature quality.
It's a cool little film, no question.
Great.
Yeah.
We'll real quick just touch on what's new on video.
Okay.
Hang on, where is it? Right here. So just fresh today, we have Good Boys. We've covered this when it was out in theaters.
I like this film a lot.
It was fun.
A little boy right here from
Jacob Tremblay.
Dr. Sleep.
I don't know if I'd watch this again, but it was fun.
I would watch it again.
This was very good. You didn't see this.
I haven't.
I really liked it.
I have the
I
film.
think you should watch it.
I will watch it.
If anything, for Dakota.
Okay.
And for Shia.
And
Actually, all
Shia.
three of them are great.
No, it looks
It's a
great.
gem. After the Wedding.
Yeah.
Which is a
Looks
prominent
good.
film that just came out.
Right.
I don't really think it made it to theaters. If it did, it was very limited.
I don't think so.
And then we have one more, which is the sequel,
Oh, of course.
47 Meters Down,
Okay, I don't see.
Uncaged.
I guess Mandy Moore is not in this film.
No, this one is totally new cast.
Yeah,
it looks like.
right. John Corbett.
Oh, John Corbett from Sex and the City.
Sex and the City, and also my Greek Wedding.
Yes, Greek Wedding, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, here's one.
Oh, that was for you. I put that on for you.
There you go.
I forgot. Christmas Carol.
I love
the
Alistair
classic
Sim.
1951 Alistair Sim.
The best.
Yeah, that was a great. Even
Yeah.
I saw that as a kid. That was great.
It's just wonderful.
Yeah.
Is this I have the colorized version.
Yeah. And
Which
it's
is so
something
cool.
Cross, Rise of the Villains.
Oh.
Never heard of it, but interesting cast.
Yeah, Vinny and
Definitely
Danny,
kind of like bottom
both
of the
sitting
bin.
by their phones. I'll take it.
Exactly.
I'll take it.
And this
I'll take
is
it.
supposed to be very good. It's a Chinese film with Awkwafina about a family in China that knows that the matriarch is going to be dying of cancer, but
yeah.
they don't tell her.
No desire to
And
see
they
it.
have a farewell party.
I've seen the film.
Pretenders is
advertised.
out with
Look at
James
this cast.
Franco.
That's great. James Franco.
Yeah, there's good.
There's little Luco London there, whatever her name is.
Juno Temple.
Juno Temple. Love
Interesting
her.
cast.
Yeah, kind of cool. And it looks good, the film.
It does, yeah.
It really does look good.
And then new to theaters coming out on Friday. We got a couple big movies coming out.
Yeah.
We have, starting with Charlie's Angels, the reboot.
I know.
Elizabeth Banks' film, all over her name.
Got a fantastic review
It looks
today.
fun.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. No, not just fun, but had literally rewrote the espionage
Cool.
world.
I'll see it.
To some
I
extent.
like Elizabeth Banks.
No,
She's talented.
they really are going
I want to
nuts
see
on
this. I know you don't.
I have no
Ford
desire.
versus Ferrari.
Don't want to see it.
This I want to see. The Good Liar.
I don't really
Helen
want to see
Mirren.
this.
Ian McKellen.
Nah, I don't
However, I might wait till video.
Video.
I'm
on
not
that.
dying to see it, but it
Video
looks
on
good.
They look like they're
And then
dying.
this is just a prominent film that's getting a lot of word of mouth
Okay.
on the indie circuit. It's called Waves. It has a pretty good cast. Sterling K. Brown, Lucas Hedges, very talented actor.
He is.
And that's at the theaters.
Okay.
So we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. We're off next week.
We're off next
but
week
we're
because
gonna have
Chris,
a lot of good stuff.
Chris has just alternate things to do. His father's birthday, so happy birthday,
Well, plus
Edward.
we're gonna sometimes be taking a week off to give ourselves a break. We agreed on
yeah,
that.
for you
Sometimes
to
every
have a
month.
break, yeah.
For you as well.
No, not necessarily for me.
Well, if
Because
you,
you
as
know,
well. 'Cause
all
you
I
wanted
do,
a break
listen,
too.
This is all I do. You know, when I'm not doing this show, I'm sitting around waiting to do this
I know
show.
you are.
I literally sit right here in this house, this very room, this very chair.
I know you do.
Just sitting here waiting for that camera to roll again, so you guys can just
Kind of a
sit and watch.
sad state of affairs.
It's a sad state of affairs, or it's just simply what
okay.
I like to do.
It's
so
fun.
listen, Chris may not be here, but next week we might have a guest. I might have a guest sitting here doing the very same thing. Listen, you've had guests. You had a guest.
One time, only because you decided not to show up.
Well, and it's kind of fitting that on your guest,
Yes, was
his,
my dad.
his birthday,
Yes.
that perhaps I may have a guest who might just sit in here and do the show.
Feel
It might
free.
be fun to see.
Okay.
All right, so there you go.
Well, then you're gonna have to drive out to me to give me the footage so I can edit it and put it up.
Well, I suppose that's
I'm not
true.
gonna come up here,
No, I understand.
so we'll figure it out.
Well, it's 2 weeks away, so.
No, it's next week.
Well, it's next week, but then I don't have to get it to you. But, you
No,
know.
I would like to put it up
Wow.
next week if that's the case.
Oh, this is true. This is true.
You
Well,
know?
we'll have to see.
But I
what
prefer
happens.
you didn't.
We'll have to see.
Better if you didn't.
All right.
All right, guys. But we'll see you in 2 weeks regardless.
Oh, it's okay.
It's been fun. It's been a long
It
show,
has
but it's been
indeed.
fun.
And we'll see you next
We'll
week.
see you guys next week. Goodbye.
Louie, where are you?
Road. Yeah, where we going now? Yeah, Mr.